Hi, everybody. I am so sorry about the technical issues I'm having tonight. Everything keeps freezing up. We're going to try this again. We are here to talk about one Alex Peretti, and that is this guy right here. Nope, that's not. Why? Nope, that's not it either. Hold on. Move. This guy right here. There we go. This guy right here, who was shot and killed by ICE immigration agents uh, last week. So, everyone has seen the video of him, videotaping or on his phone with ICE agents and them attacking him, eventually shooting him, um, in the streets, killing him. And a lot of information has come out about him. I mean, people are saying he was a criminal, some saying he was a divisive agent, terrorist, and then you have people who knew him. He was kind, he was selfless, he was gentle, he was, go beyond the extra mile for you. So many things people said about him that knew him. You know, what we do know, he was 37 years old, he was an ICU nurse at the local VA hospital there in Minneapolis, and, to speak on ICU nurses, that's a tough job. You know, it takes a special kind of person to practice that kind of medicine, and not everybody is, up for that. So, um, there is that. But why did he go out there protesting like he was? You know, because the original video when all this happened that was going around really basically showed him innocently recording the ICE agents doing their thing in the snippet that we saw. And then you see them getting aggravated and shoving people up on the sidewalk. And it goes south so quickly to where you hear guns go off, and I mean, I lost count how many, how many, shots I heard. Now they're saying it was 9 shots, I thought maybe it was 6, maybe 7, but it was 9 shots his body took. And then you're hearing, well, he had an altercation or a run-in with ICE agents a week or so before, ended up suffering a broken rib, and we now have that video. And that paints him in a whole other light. So let me play that for you. No, let's see. Now I'm not sure why there's no volume on this. It's weird because I recorded it with volume, but let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not. But, you know, this woman is what this is actually the other angle of the shooting incident with him. So we have that right here. And it's up close and personal. I mean, it's a whole other angle. This woman's literally sitting in her car watching this whole thing happen. Watch the shooting, watch everything. They say that because he got shots because he was carrying a gun. Or not saying they're saying he had a gun on his possession with 2 clips and that the agents felt threatened for their lives, which is why they shot him. I can't say yes or no to that. I from what I've seen, it did not look like he had a gun on him, but, he very well could have. But, yeah, the woman who took this is staying anonymous. She submitted the information to whoever, but she has made it clear that, the federal agents have not spoken to her about what she witnessed and what she recorded. So there's that one. This one should be the one where he had a run-in with them 11 days ago. Move it around here. Now, this is them on the sidewalk looking around. This is minutes before. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This is more of him, of the him getting shot. So you saw them just kinda milling around, ordering things and just waiting, and then you see them shoving him up on that sidewalk, and then just things go so very south very, very quickly. Now here you go, he's out in the middle of the street. Now see, this shows a different perspective of the day of the shooting. He was in the middle of the street, not off to the side like we were told, like we were thinking he was. So, yeah. And now let's see, is this the correct one? Nope, that's the other one. Oh, darn it, let me find it. I apologize. I'm very discombobulated here. Let's see. No, no. Yep, here we go. This is him 11 days before he was shot and killed. You see him spitting on the ICE agent vehicle. Now you see him kick, and he takes out the taillight. Now this video alone has me asking so many questions. You see him being shoved, you see him being thrown down on the ground, other people watching, but he is I mean, there's some video where it has the audio where he is daring them to come after him. He's daring the agents to come after him. Now, this video does show him in a completely different light. It does, beg to question, is he this great, gentle person that people keep talking about? Was he a victim of what happened, or was he the person who brought it on? These are the questions, right there. Here's the question I have. In this incident, you see he's screaming, he's yelling, he damaged government property, that car. They get out, they tussle it, rough him up. They say he has he had the gun on him. It's people can see the gun on his hip in this video. But these agents let him go. They don't run him in, they don't charge him with anything, which I would have thought they would have at least charged him with destroying government property. But they let him go. And say, that's all they do. They let him go. They don't even charge him with anything. But he had the gun on him. So how did that more I hate to say more violent, but the more combative situation that he was in 11 days prior to dying, how did he not end up getting shot in that situation where he was being combative, where he was destroying property, where he was getting up in their faces, and he had the gun on his hip? I could see at that point possibly agents feeling threatened to do more aggressive action on him, but they didn't. And they didn't even charge him anything. They just left him alone. They let him go. Okay, fine. I get that. So what the hell happened 11 days later where he ended up losing his life? Because yeah, he was out in the middle of the street. Yes, he was taking video. But the video we've all seen from multiple different angles where they've got him laying on the ground and they're, surrounded by several agents. Not at any point does he grab his gun, not at any point does he threaten anybody, but he still ends up with 9 bullets in his head or in his body. Make that make sense. You know, I understand, the idea of ICE or immigration, I should say, immigration control. I understand that. Yes, we are a country founded by immigrants to a degree, um, unless you're 100% Native American or indigenous, everybody else is some descendant of an immigrant. That there it's just what it is. I've got my ancestors are from Ireland and Germany and Scotland and Wales, and I think I wanna say my family got here in the, mid 1700s. But, I get it though. I get it, but they've got a list of the people they're looking for. Why are they grabbing people they're not looking for? That's what I wanna know. Why are they busting down doors and going in places and grabbing people that have no criminal history, that, they've overstayed their welcome. Some of them are asylum seekers and are doing things the proper way. They have attorneys and they have paperwork and all that, but yet they're still being kicked out, which makes no sense to me. Um, yeah, I mean, no matter and this is the thing, people are saying this video from, 11 days before he was shot and killed, they're now saying this paints the whole situation that happened where he ended up getting shot and killed, paints it in a different light. It gives you a different perspective, maybe, but here's what I'm gonna say to this. The videos from 11 days before is relevant and not relevant. Relevant in the part where he's had a run-in with ICE before, and it was aggressive, way more aggressive than what or his behavior was way more aggressive than it was that ended up getting him killed. So in that way, it's more relevant. Oh, it's relevant because they didn't kill him, he didn't get arrested, he didn't get charged. He walked away alive. That in that way, it's relevant. Why it's not relevant is it does not excuse the actions of those ICE agents shooting him like they did in the street. It doesn't. Simple as that. It just does not. I mean, the death of Alex Pretti is, in my opinion, a murder of Alex Pretti. And I'm probably gonna get people hating me on it, but that's okay. I got people hating on me on whatever topic there is anyway. But like I said, I get what ICE is doing. Yes, we should remove the people who don't belong here. I get that, but I don't like their methods. I don't like their methodology. I don't like the fear mongering that they're doing. I don't like any of that because it's just not who we are as a country, as a nation. We're just not those people. But yet somehow we have become those people. So, like I said, Alex Pretti was an obnoxious man, and he screamed for his beliefs, which I can't fault the guy. I mean, stand up for what you wanna believe in, but he did not deserve to die, and I find those ICE agents completely at fault for him losing his life, because no matter how you look at the first video actually, no matter how much look at the first video where he got in trouble with them 11 days ago, doesn't matter how you look at that, the end result of the second video where he ended up losing his life, there was no reason for them to be that violent towards him to where he ended up dying. There's just no way that should have happened. And that tells me you've got agents in a very heightened situation and they are losing their touch with reality as to what's actually happening. And that is frightening because these people have access to weapons. So I'm all for pulling some people out of Minneapolis. I'm all for just getting people out of the field for a minute, reducing the numbers and retraining everybody because something needs to be done. Because I'm afraid the next thing that's gonna happen is an ICE agent is gonna get killed in the field. And then martial law will go into effect at this point. So, everybody needs to take a big time out, and I'm sorry Alex Peretti's dead. I'm sorry Renee Good is dead. Nobody deserves to die over this stuff. Nobody does, you know? And, this protesting, you really take a chance with yourself and your well-being protesting for something you believe in, and I get it, but you gotta remember, if you have loved ones at home, they're gonna miss you. You might wanna think about your actions. That's all I'm saying. So this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm gonna hop off here. Um, you've got my opinion. Like I said, Alex Peretti, he didn't deserve to die. He didn't. Simple as that. And I do think the agents who did that are completely to blame. Completely to blame for that. So, all right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna get warm because it is freezing outside. North Carolina is under ice and it's not good. Like the weather kind of ice, not the immigration ice. And they're expecting another storm this weekend. So fun times. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off here, y'all, and, thank you for listening and following, and this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. Bye.